Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Claudia Six, relationship and sex therapist. And what that basically means is that I'm a clinical sexologist. I do counseling with people around relationship issues and sexual issues. All talk, no action. There is nothing hands-on about what I do. So this is my website, dr6.net, voted best in Marin. A few years ago, I wrote a book called Erotic Integrity. I did a TED Talk on performance anxiety in women. I was a professor at USF, got lots of awards, yada, yada. I've been doing this for 30 years. That's me. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to answer questions about sex and relationships. So one question that comes up a lot is, how do I resolve desire mismatches where one person wants sex more than the other? And to tell you the truth, this is the situation in most relationships. I'm going to time myself because, here we go. In most relationships, one person wants sex more than the other, and that's not necessarily a problem. The psychobabble for it is desire discrepancy. So what I would start with is by asking both people, what does sex mean to them? What does it represent to them? For some people, it's a source of validation. For some people, it's a way to self-soothe. For some people, it might just be an affirmation of their vitality. So sex means different things to different people. And in a couple, it can mean different things to both people also. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Now I'm going to give you my little soapbox talk about desire. Some of you have probably heard it before. There's a video about it on my website. People confuse desire and arousal. And I'm going to tell you why. Desire is the willingness to get started. It's the willingness to engage your partner sexually and see where it goes. So you can come to desire from three places. You can come to it from your crotch, that horny, kind of throbbing loins kind of feeling. And men have testosterone, so they have it going on in their crotch more than women do. And that's not bad. It's just different. You can come to desire from your heart because you love this person, you want to feel close to them, you want to smell them, you want to wrap your legs around them, you want to connect with them. Or you can come to it from your head because it would be a good idea. Maybe it's been 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, and it would be a good idea to get it on. And it doesn't matter if one person is 100% in their crotch and the other percent is 50% in their heart and 50% in their head. It doesn't matter where you start. And especially menopausal women tend to have it less going on in their crotch. That doesn't mean they don't have the desire. It doesn't mean they don't have the willingness to get started. And so desire is different than arousal because the lubricating, contorting, heavy breathing, that is arousal. That's what happens after you get started, hopefully. So that is some of the stuff I talk to people about when they come in with mismatched desire or desire discrepancies, which is a very, very big topic. Another question I got, which I just touched on, is what do I suggest for perimenopausal women whose sex drive has been affected negatively by hormones? I would definitely recommend hormone replacement therapy. I think there's a lot of misinformation and misplaced fear about hormone replacement therapy. If you are going to do hormone replacement therapy, I would recommend compound pharmacy bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, which is probably not what your Western doctor is going to send you for. And there is lots of information on that, and there are several health practitioners I can refer you to help with that. If you can't do hormone replacement therapy because of health concerns or a family history of cancer, There are lubricants that women can use that are not hormone-based that would make sex easier and more pleasurable. If someone is menopausal and has low desire, I would talk to them about what does the low desire look like? How does it show up for them? I would rule out anxiety, and I would rule out pain, because if there's pain, I might want to refer you to a pelvic physical therapist. Popular question I get is, what vibrator do I recommend? So for the 3 decades I've been doing this, I've always recommended a very simple vibrator called the Water Dancer. And I'm going to reach over here. I'm not going to show you my vibrator. I'm going to show you my chapstick. Because the Water Dancer is about the diameter of my chapstick, and it's probably a little bit longer. And it's blue. It's called the Water Dancer because it's waterproof. So you can use it in the shower, in the hot tub. You can spill a little champagne on it, whatever's going to work for you. But it's for external use only. Do not insert it. You don't want to lose it. I don't know if it's made in China, but it doesn't break. It'll last you for years. I don't remember how many batteries it takes, but that is what I recommend. You don't need the fancy bells and whistles, rabbit, rotating, fancy stuff. I recommend the Water Dancer. Also, the Water Dancer is easy to use during intercourse with a partner. It's very small. It's easy to slip in there and get the stimulation you need to reach orgasm. Next question, is the desire for morning sex common with partners? And what is the solution if one person wants it and the other one doesn't? Or the other one does, but they're not saying anything about it? I would say this is a common scenario in that couples engage in sort of a narrow slice of acceptable behaviors because they're avoiding the uncomfortable conversations. So it's not unusual for couples where one person wants one thing and the other person wants the other thing, but they're not talking about it. And so difficult conversations have the most power to enhance intimacy and eroticism in your relationship. So if one person wants something and the other person wants something else and nobody's talking about it, open your mouth and talk about it. That's the short answer to that question. Let's see, I have them numbered. Most common reason people divorce or break up. Short answer is people choose their limitations. It takes 2 people to make a relationship work. It only takes 1 person to end a relationship. And when people ask me, should I stay or should I go? The answer I tell them, I have a notice board here full of quotes. And what I tell them is, ask yourself, am I getting enough in this relationship to make grieving what I'm not getting worth my while? Am I getting enough in this relationship to make grieving what I'm not getting worth my while? In other words, is there enough there to keep me? And that is the question I recommend people ask themselves when considering whether to stay or go. Have I ever seen a couple ready to break up and kept them together? I will tell you, in my decades of personal and professional experience, if a woman is thinking of leaving, she generally doesn't change her mind. If a guy is thinking of leaving, he sometimes does change his mind. I think I have a couple more minutes. I can't personally have an agenda to keep people together. I can't tell people what to do.
Less than a minute.
I can make recommendations. I can ask them questions that cause them to confront themselves. But whether or not a couple stays together or not is not my decision or mine to recommend. However, I will tell you, things always work out for the best. I don't know how many times I've gotten Christmas cards and wedding invitations from people saying, remember, I saw you when, and we were fighting and we ended up getting divorced. We live across the street from each other. The kids go back and forth. We're both happy in new relationships, and everything works out. So even when things are really, really painful and difficult, things do work out for the best. And I'm going to stop there so I don't get interrupted. Thank you, everyone. Dr. Claudia 6, dr6.net.